To be that you could stand in Times Square right behind us, and you could shout whatever you wanted. But you could only get 30, 40, 50 people around you, right? Yep. Twitter's different.
The amplification.
It's the piece that she's talking about. And so when you see these kind of heinous stories, conspiracy theories about a Paul Pelosi situation that seems to lead to violence in other situations as a result of it, the question is, do the companies bear some responsibility for trying to rein that in? And I would argue they do, and to put it on, but to also put it on them to decide what's false is also a complicating factor.
Well, but exactly. So if what I would say, if the company's going to take down something as false speech, the company bears the burden of proof to show that it was false. History teaches us, and by the way, not just history over the last 100 years, history over the last 2 to 3 years teaches us that many of our current beliefs will be modified in some way.
Responsibility on the person who's speaking.
Well, I would say put it on the responsibility of the body politic to say that, you know what, we're going to debate these ideas in the open, may the best ideas win, may the best arguments win. And Andrew, I will just say we're conflating a couple different things here. I think the way you treat the misinformation point is different from the way you treat the category of hate speech. I think you can't have hate speech as a category because all opinions are allowed.
For you. You know, there's a lot of people who deny the election results of this last election, some of whom, by the way, look like they may win next week. Do you think that there should be correcting correcting the record?
I think there should be people correcting the record through free speech and open debate, not through silencing them and not through censorship. I mean, throughout our history, I'm proud to say we live in a country where you can go out and burn the flag and say, you know what, war on America. This is a country where part of burning the flag is what gives that the meaning, is the fact that we live in a country where that is allowed. And if we lose that principle, we lose the very principle we're fighting for in the first place. So you got to draw this distinction between saying I disagree vehemently, but still allow you the right to speak.
How concerned are you?
Conflating again.
How concerned are you with either democracy or the very idea that there are large parts of the population who believe things that are just factually untrue today?
So I am deeply concerned about threats to democracy, but I think those threats to democracy, Andrew, are plural. And one of those threats to democracy is the centralized determination of truth. By the way, and here's a dimension we haven't talked about, where the government itself is now coordinating with Twitter, with Facebook, et cetera, to direct critics of the government to be silenced. This is something that I think is also a threat to democracy, where you have a government using private companies to censor speech.
So this tech entrepreneur, Vivek Ramaswamy, basically picked apart this CNBC host on the topic of free speech. So they were going back and forth, and basically what Vivek was saying was absolutely true. Basically, that who are big tech companies to decide what is truth and therefore what can be said on their platforms? This is relevant in subject matters that are hotly debated, contentious, controversial topics, where there is no settled science on it. There are still ongoing conversations in our society, debates, facts and evidence coming on both sides, and there is no decided truth to what the answer is to these questions and within these topics, right? But many big tech companies have taken it upon themselves to decide, okay, this is the right answer for this, and anybody who says anything that suggests otherwise, we're going to silence, we're going to censor. The new left wing is concerned with controlling speech and silencing its intellectual enemies. And what better tool to do that with than big tech and the social media platforms that society's communication happens on? That's really the arena where our cultural debates are occurring. And if you can control what can and cannot be said on those platforms, then you're at a big advantage. I believe in total free speech. I think people should be able to make their own choices on what they want to say and how they express themselves. Left wing, right wing, good, bad, whatever. And then from there, we need to, as individual people, we need to decide what we want to associate ourselves with, what kind of stuff we want to consume, and have true free choice. I don't need a big tech company to shield me from information that I might not like or not agree with. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip. This was very interesting to me. And as always, thanks for watching.